And 1, 2, 3, let's go! Oh yeah, yeah. When you go down to the doctor's office and he says you need something for your ears, he says I got a prescription, baby, and it's gonna give you lots of cheers and cheers. Oh, Jive Talkin with Shane. Jive Talkin with Shane. You take it down to the pharmacy. You say it's time to get my prescription. You say you dumb dirty son of a bitch. You just get some earbuds and plug it on in. Oh yeah, Jive Talkin with Shane. It's gonna drive you insane. Oh yeah, it will. Jive Talkin with Shane. Motherfuckers, you know it's Jive Talkin with Shane. That's the fucking theme. That's a theme song. That's the theme song to my TV show on MTV. It'll be my other TV show because they'll bring back Headbangers Ball. It'll be really good. It'll be Headbangers Ball 3. They'll have me the host for that, but then they'll also give me my own TV show on MTV, and I will perform that version right there. If I could repeat that, I might do that a couple more times in this whole thing. But welcome one and all back to the Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo, episode 118, 117, 118. I can't quite remember. We do have your comments ready to go, and we've got a jam-packed episode. I might have to just get that right out of the way, right out of the gate. So much news. And so little time, quite frankly. You know, you're born, you live a little bit, and then you die, and so there's not a moment to waste. I want to welcome you if this is your first time. I apologize for everything that happens here on these episodes, and I apologize for being in your dream state. You know, when you're at the height of your REM sleep at night, and I'm drifting around in your head, perhaps making love to you, but that's entirely your dreams, not me. I got nothing to do with that. Let's get into it. We've got your comments, and we're going to check in with Jack Russell at the end of this thing. He's going to bust off a little piece of that ballad from that record, the Great White Record that's good. The ballad that's on there. It's got the chick, with the Lady Red Light and all that. That beautiful ballad that's on. I think he's going to give us a couple bars of that. So much to do. Breaking news: Slayer are back. Can you believe that? Slayer's back 5 years. Kerry King dropped that chain on the stage. He made a big thing. He says, I wear this big chain every single night. And on the last night of our gigs ever, I'm taking that chain off and I don't ever touch it again. Well, he might have to strap it back on because it says it's official. Slayer reunites, announces first shows in 5 years. Slayer, we do have we're going to bust through this because we do have the girlfriend. Remember Kerry King's girlfriend? I bet it's Kerry King's girlfriend, but she loves to pipe in on shit. So we've got her too. She's going to explain to everybody why they're back or something. Slayer has officially reunited and will return to the live stage in September of 2024 for the first time since the band wrapped their last concert of its world tour back in November 2019. Slayer's Tom Araya, the bass and vocal, Kerry King, guitar, Gary Holt, guitar, and Paul Bostaff on the drums will return to the stage this fall, headlining 2 major festivals, Riot Fest and Louder Than Life. They were just passing them by every year, 2 years in. You guys want to come do it? No. What are you paying? 100 grand for us to play? As soon as the number got up there, they says, I think that's as high as they're going to go for us. Guys, this is Tom Araya is going to come in, and I did a TikTok today, and I was very happy with my Tom Araya impression. So, this is Tom Araya speaking on the subject, and we also have Kerry King. He says, nothing compares to the 90 minutes we're on stage playing live, sharing that intense energy with our fans. And to be honest, we have missed that. And then Kerry King added, have I missed playing live? Absolutely. Slayer means a lot to our fans. They mean a lot to us, quite frankly, if you don't mind me being quite frank. It will be 5 years since we have seen them. So far, the following dates have been announced. September 22nd at Riot Fest in Chicago, the Windy City down there. You going to be there? You going to go see it? And September 27th, that would be the following weekend at Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky. And I know it's it's not Louisville. I know it. I know it's Louisville, Kentucky. We're thrilled to announce that Slayer will be returning for an earth-shattering performance at Louder Than Life. Oh, says Danny Wimmer. Danny Wimmer of Danny Wimmer Presents. I was at their last show, okay, guys? I was there at the last show at the Forum, 2019, and have been working since then to bring them back to Louder Stage. See, I told you. Danny Wimmer was over there going, I'll pay you 50 G's, 60 G's every year. No, Thomas said, take that low cash and burn it in Satan's sweet pits of hell. With over 140 bands on 5 stages, Danny Wimmer continues, we're celebrating our 10th Louder Than Life with the biggest lineup yet. And they got to say that every year. This is the biggest lineup yet. Earlier this month, Kerry King said that he had not been in contact with Tom. Yes, remember we did that story? He had not been in contact with Tom since Slayer played its final show more than 4 years ago. The 59-year-old guitarist discussed his band's decision to call it quits while speaking to Rolling Stone. Remember that? First time Kerry King was in the Rolling Stone magazine. On the cover of the Rolling Stone. We're not going to get into that because we got to get into, are you betting? Are we laying down bets? Whose girlfriend in Slayer is about to set everyone straight on the reason why they're back? I'm going to say it's Kerry King's girlfriend. Let's see. Slayer guitarist's wife defends the return to the live stage after the farewell shows. This isn't a tour. It's some dates. That's what Lisa Holt. Oh my goodness, it's Lisa Holt. I bet she's best friends with Kerry King's wife, right? Lisa Holt, the wife of Slayer guitarist Gary Holt, and also the Fine Exodus, has defended the band's decision to reunite, especially when she says, what are you going to get me some of them handbags? Gary, you going to get me some of them handbags? You said we were going to go over to Versace and Gucci, and you said I was going to get those handbags. Remember? Now you can do it. Remember you said it was a little light on the budget a little while ago? But now you got that Slayer money coming in. I'm just kidding. She doesn't, someone's going, Shane, that's very sexist that you think that Lisa Holt is into handbags. Earlier today, Wednesday, February 21st, it was announced that Holt bassist singer Tom Araya, guitarist Kerry King, and drummer Paul Bostoff will perform Chicago's Riot Fest September in Louisville. Sweet Louisville. Oh, God. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just losing it. Louisville, Louder Than Life on September 27th in what was being billed as the band's first gig since November of 2019. Short time after that, news of Slayer's comeback hit the wire. Lisa took to her Facebook. Oh, shit, Facebook. Lisa Holt took to her Facebook page. And she had a breakfast photo that was on there. And it was a beautiful breakfast. But as soon as she put this post up, it went down to the second post. The second most liked post. Yes, it's true. and an exciting adventure for the band and the fans. To all the people saying they are liars, they must have ran out of money or something. It's not, see, now I sound like one of them people because I was going on about her getting handbags. It's not Slayer without so and so. I have an idea for you all. Don't go! And for all the people who did go to the final tour dates and enjoyed it, awesome! This isn't a tour, it's some dates, and great news, she added. And everyone that thinks they know all the inside info you can possibly know. So just, what? And everyone that thinks they know all the inside info you can't possibly know. So just enjoy the fact that this amazing band will play some amazing shows this year. Go or don't go. Nobody cares. Oh. In a statement confirming Slayer's return, Araya said, "Nothing compares to the 90 minutes we're on stage." Okay, I'm not going to do all that again. Just a couple of weeks ago, remember Kerry King, he got in the Rolling Stone magazine. Remember? We were so happy for him when that happened. Here's this quote. Will Slayer tour again? That's what Kerry King's asked at the Rolling Stone magazine. I'm pretty sure that's not going to happen. Could Slayer play a show again? Because I got some contracts I got to look at that came through the fax machine. I'm sure there's a scenario. How about 200 G's? It might even be way more than that, you guys, for Slayer to play there. Because I remember when Faith No More, I knew the promoter, and Faith No More at the time of, it was the album after, it's the one with, oh my God, album of the year on that record. That they were asking $7,000 to play this venue, and guess who opened that show? The Biscuits, Limp Bizkit. That was the first time I'd ever seen them. I said, "What the fuck is going on here?" You got like the Village People, because I think one of them dressed like a cowboy at some point. Anyways, they might be getting like 100, 200,000, so because those, how much are those tickets? $500 a piece. Slayer played their final show, their farewell tour, in November of 2019 at the Forum in Los Angeles, California. One day later, Carrie's wife, there she is, Aisha. Carrie, how's your wife, Aisha? Aisha, what, you know what Aisha said? She said, "There's not a chance in the sweet satanic hells in which they've always sang tunes that the thrash metal icons will reunite for more live appearances. There's not a chance in hell about it." I think Aisha is wrong. Slayer's fine. Okay, we got all that. Let's get into Jeff Pilson here because, and no, he's not some kind of undead, wizard in one of those TV shows you watch on Netflix. This is Jeff Pilson, and this is Don Dokken. And I saw this story and I wanted to know what was going on because it says Jeff Pilson on Don Dokken's hostile comments about former Dokken bandmates. It sounds like he has some sour grapes. Now, I'm not one to turn a story down like that, so we got to do it. First, I'm going to have a drink of this terrible tasting thing. Now, I know by all the chugs that you saw, you witnessed there, that you're going to say, it must not be too bad. It's one of them things. You just drink it because that's all that's available. Unless you guys want me to go get up and get something, because I can. I will go get up and go get me something else. Yeah, sour grapes? Let's find out what's going on with this. Jeff Pilson. In a new interview with Thomas S. Orwatt Jr., God bless him, we love that name, of Rock Interview Series, very strict, cut to the, what's the SEO? The search engine optimization. So rock interview series. We're going to be number one, baby, on the Google. We're going to be on number one. And he might be, if you put rock interview series in there, it might be number one. Former Dokken bass player Jeff Pilson once again addresses some of Don Dokken's recent claims about who was responsible for most of the songwriting during the band's classic era and the alleged drug use that led to the lineup split. Well, Jeff might not want to cop to, any of that. If he was into it, maybe it wasn't him. Asked why he thinks there is so much animosity coming from Don at this point, Jeff said, as transcribed by Bambermouth, "You're asking the wrong dude. I don't know. I don't know what Don's thinking, because I've seen him say some pretty hostile things, to be honest with you. Just some hostile things. And I don't understand why he's doing it. The only purpose I can think of is maybe he's trying to get a little more publicity now. He's got a new Dokken record to promote. And in the past, the conflict about Dokken was such a part of the publicity package that maybe he thinks that he needs that again. I don't know, honestly. I just don't know. I haven't really read anything negative that George Lynch, former Dokken guitarist, has said recently. Maybe he has. I don't know. But I know George's feelings because I talk to him a lot. We talk all the time. And his feeling is like he's kind of hurt. I could see George Lynch being kind of a softy, he's a big guy, but I bet I could see him crying a lot, watching that show Love on the Spectrum or something, and just in there damn it. His wife's like, that's why I married him. I love him so deeply because he's so tender. Mr. Lynch is just so tender. It's like, why would Don talk about our drug use, especially leaving out his own, which is awfully convenient. And I've heard old Don Dokken say a couple of times that he never did any drugs. But back in the day, I remember seeing an interview, and it was on the Monsters of Rock tour. Remember, it was Dokken and Scorpions and Metallica and Van Halen and all that. And they were interviewing him while they were doing that, and he was spun. He looked like, and he's jumping off the walls, But he says he doesn't do it. Especially leaving out his own, which is awfully convenient, if you don't mind me saying. But that was years and years and years and years and years ago. Why would you dredge that up? I don't understand. It sounds like he has sour grapes. I don't know why. We're lucky people. Oh, he's going to do the lucky people speech. Jeff Pilson says, we're lucky people. We had a very lucky opportunity. I mean, maybe there's somewhere in him where he feels a regret about how he kind of blew it. We had a chance to really, really be a big band. And we kind of blew it at the time. Maybe Don's never lived that down. He is the leader of the band, Jeff. You're not wrong about that, because he is the leader. He's got to whip you guys into shape. Because he is the one that broke it up. So I don't know. I wish Don well. I want to see him do well with the legacy. And I'm a little concerned because I read a lot of terrible things about him on websites. And it kind of drives me crazy too. So, I don't know. As far as the hostile stuff, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I just want to be thankful that we had the career we had, because it's been helpful to me, okay? I've been able to do a lot of things as a result of it. Like playing Foreigner. And I credited Dokken for a lot of my successes. And I don't want to tarnish that now, especially. We're old men now. This is a cry laugh. It's a happy laugh. Let's enjoy it. Asked if it was an enjoyable experience getting the classic lineup of Dokken, Don, George, Jeff, and drummer Mick Brown back together in 2016 to play the Loud Park Festival in Japan. Jeff said, yes. Oh, God, yes. That's the funny thing. It was very enjoyable. I don't think we were particularly great. I hate to say it. I mean, we rehearsed, and I think we were musically strong. Oh, boy. Here he goes. But by his own admission, Don didn't feel good about his own performance during that reunion tour. So I feel bad about that. Jeff feels bad about him feeling bad about his voice. I feel like we sort of cheated the fans a little bit. Oh, it's all Don's fault, isn't it? But we actually got along fine, and we actually had a lot of fun. There was a lot of laughs. I mean, we did a song together referencing It's Another Day, the first Dokken track featuring the group's classic lineup since 1997's Shadow Life, and the collaboration was very effective. And everybody was very engaged in the recording. I mean, Don had some great suggestions for it. All right, we're done with that shit. Very quickly, we get into Rob Halford here. That's oh good. And that's Vessel. He's the singer for Sleep Token. I just looked at it right there. And he sings that beautifully haunting, new kind of fresh style of heavy metal. But Rob Halford, he says he'd like to get, he says, mark my words, one day I'll get myself a selfie with Vessel. One of these days I'm going to get myself a selfie with Vessel. So, we're going to get into that. Judas Priest. Rob Halford praises Sleep Token. They're a really curious band. In a new interview with Pablo, a Minneapolis, Minnesota radio station 93X, Judas Priest singer Rob Halford was asked if there is any up-and-coming bands that he's got his ears at the moment. Ears out for at the moment. Yes. There's a lot of importance being put in the direction of this band called Sleep Token. And they're really curious band, what they're putting out in terms of all of that different textures. They're very difficult to pin down. That's what I find intriguing. As a musician listening to their music, it's got to a lot of different it goes to a lot of different places, Shane. Read my bleeding blatty words. And I think that there isn't any other band out there right now that's able to do that. They do have a very unique sound. Because most bands have a specific sound and a direction and the idea and an idea. Just slow your words down, Shane. Just slow your words down. And idea that they project. And then, there you go, Shane. There you go. And then you get kind of fine-tune. Then you can kind of fine-tune it into that. But you can't really nail them down. If that's the expression, and of course, the guys have been around for a few years. They're not like suddenly here they are. They've worked hard to get to this place of recognition. But I really like all the extra textures. Like a nice creme brulee or a mousse in your fine dining restaurants. Of the way that they look and the way they are talking. Rob also added, they have a singer called Vessel. One day the metal god and Vessel will take a selfie together. I predict that. I'm not Nostradamus, but I can predict that. I am one of the biggest heavy metal legends in the world, and I've just said that on the magazine. Vessel will probably be calling me in the next hour. So that's something cool. Back in 2014, Halford dismissed Gene Simmons' claim that rock is dead, telling Canadian journalist Mitch Lafon, that's him, the Rock Talk with Mitch Lafon. He ditched his program to go on with that Jeremy White. And then Jeremy White hogs all the time. I used to like listening to Mitch Lafon and that, who was he? Guns N' Roses manager from back in the day. What was that guy's name? And he's very nice too, Mitch Lafon. He's a very, very nice fellow. This is a guy, if you know, give me a wallet. He'd be like, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Here, and here's my wife's purse, and here's my son's. Give me all your allowance. I mean, just like a, you know, I'm not saying a pushover. I'm just saying very down to earth kind of a guy, Canadian guy. Back into Mitch Lafon in an interview. Now, I've heard that statement a number of times through the decades that I've been in metal. I don't think it is. I think it's absolutely in incredible shape right now. It's never been stronger. I think we're surrounded constantly by new talent, and the enthusiasm that surges from the new bands of all kinds keep rock alive and strong and virile. And I think it'll always be that way. So for me, when I check out the metal sites that I do every day, well, there you go. He's going to check this today because he wants to make sure that Vessel sees his note about getting a selfie. I checked out dozens of metal sites from different places around the world. I see the strength and the power there. And it's tremendously exciting. It's a different world now, for sure, in terms of the way the industry sides of the business work. That is a whole new perspective compared to how it was even 20 years ago with the advent of the internet, which created an enormous amount of a change of perspective. It affects everybody in a great way. So what I'm saying is rock isn't dead. It's alive. It's thriving. And it's exciting. Sleep Token released the third studio album, Take Me Back to Eden, last May via Spine Farm. The band also enjoyed a completely sold-out North American tour this past fall. Sold out. Not sold out one day, not sold out 5 days, sold out North American tour. Guys, I do have a wee-wee coming. But I will push through. Don't worry. Take Me Back to Eden has generated 400 million streams, while standout single The Summoning has generated 150 million streams alone, causing the track to trend on Twitter and take the #1 song spot on a host of international Spotify viral charts, as well as being selected as a YouTube trending artist on the rise. Featuring, why can't I be that? Featuring them on the YouTube homepage, viewed by millions of people every day. Why can't I have that? Judas Priest's new album, Invincible Shield, will arrive on March 8th via Sony Music. All right, we're getting into this really quick. Ace Frehley. Now, the only reason I want to see this real quick is because, guys, I did that video and I said 10,000 volts of sloppy, and now Ace Frehley's saying I am a sloppy guitar player, and I instantly felt bad. And I'm not saying that he saw my video, but I just thought the word sloppy was very interesting. And if you haven't watched that video, you can go watch it. It's something like, let's watch Ace Frehley perform 10,000 volts sloppy. I don't know, but I just saw this and I apologize, Ace, if I hurt you in any way, your feelings. Ace Frehley, I am a sloppy guitar player, but so is Jimmy Page and Keith Richards. During an appearance on a recent episode of Shout It Out Loud podcast, Ace Frehley once again admitted that he isn't the most technically proficient guitarist on the earth. I am a sloppy guitar player. So is Led Zeppelin's Jimmy Page. So is the Rolling Stones' Keith Richards. Jimmy Page is a sloppy guitar player. So am I. Keith Richards is sloppy. Sometimes they'll have an on and off night, and sometimes Keith is off in the ozone. I wasn't always on, but most of the time when I played with Kiss, I was on. I'd save the partying for after the shows. Most of the time, Ace. And I remember the other day I said something about if I ever met him. Oh yeah, I was this video this week. We go grocery shopping with them, and I forgot I had met him, and he was extremely drunk before I saw him at the show back in the day. But to be fair, that was 30 years ago. Okay. It was that tour. I've mentioned it 1,000 times. I want to say it was Y&T headlining Frehley's Comet in the second slot in Faster Pussycat opening. And if you're hanging around Faster Pussycat back when that first record came out, you're going to be drunk all the time. Frehley previously discussed his loose playing approach in an interview with Total Guitar magazine ahead of the release of the latest solo album, 10,000 Volts. He also released a brand new single. He's released 10,000 Volts, Walking on the Moon, and Cherry Medicine. I think it was something. She's my little cherry medicine, black leather, something about black leather and is like ranch dressing or something. I don't know. I'm a sloppy fucking guitar player. I'll be the first to admit that. I make mistakes and shit happens, especially live. I play the songs how they meant to be played. I deliver the classic Kiss songs and my solo songs how you remember them. When asked if there was one lesson he could impart to Total Guitar readers, he said, in retrospect, I should have practiced more. Last month, Frehley told Guitar World magazine, that is, that his particular approach on the guitar is different from that of his replacement in Kiss, Tommy Thayer. I never had a guitar lesson. I was born with a certain technical technique that many people, namely Tommy Thayer, can't duplicate. Because in 2020, Ace told the Aquarian that I like to record music spontaneously. People say, Ace, how do you write guitar solos? I go, I empty my mind and I just play. As long as I'm in the right key, I'm in the right place. Nya, 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 nya. When the interview noted that Ace can't really read music regardless, When the interviewer noted that Ace can't really read music regardless of his talent, Frehley had this to say, well, I think most musicians in rock groups probably don't read music. I'm sure there's several who do. But I was trained. I've never taken guitar lessons. I grew up in a family where everybody could music. Everyone could music. I grew up in a family where everybody could music. I was the youngest of 3 children growing up in the Bronx. My brother, my sister, and my mother, and my father, hello father, don't, hello mother. Here I am at Camp Granada, it is very entertaining. And they say we'll have some fun if it stops raining. The Dr. Demento days, they just come right back to me. The memories of that, it all comes back. My mother and my father all played piano, and there was music in the house all the time. I sang in the church choir. My dad taught Sunday school.
Everybody thinks I'm this wild and crazy guy, but my young beginnings were very normal and sedate, to say the least. But once I hit puberty, things really changed.
So there you go. Bruce Dickinson, he says, I just want to see what he says about walking through the graveyard, because we're just going to go right down to the quote. He says he loves walking, a good walk through the graveyard. Taking a wander around the graveyard cheers him up. He's like Morrissey. He's like, he says, I think if you're creative, which I am, then you just have to be aware of when creativity may strike and be prepared to abandon all those ordinary things that everybody else thinks are important for the special moment which has just fallen and hit you on top of your little head, which can be very frustrating for the rest of humanity when they want you to go to dinner, but you actually want to write the last page of something because you just happen to be in the mood. Things like that happen in odd and unusual times. It happens to me when I'm driving around, which is very inconvenient, because you want to pull over and write something immediately, and often you can't, because you need to have both hands at, 2 and 12, 2 and 6, 2 and 10, 2 and 10, or sitting on trains, strangely enough. But then somebody starts making a noise and distracting you, and you just get very inconvenient. It just gets very inconvenient. So I like to be kind of lonely in a crowded room sometimes when I create. What? So I like to be kind of lonely in a crowded room sometimes when I create. Sometimes I go off and just take a wander around the graveyard, searching for the Mandrake Project. I find that cheers me up. Well, good for you, buddy. We're going to listen to this old feller. He's going to sing a couple bars of that song. You know what I'm talking about? It's a really good tune. I used to think about my, girlfriend in 7th grade or 6th grade or whatever. I would just listen to that song. I listen to all these songs, these love songs when you're kind of falling in love and stuff, in your life. Fan film video shows Jack Russell's Great White. Another thing I want to mention is one of the old former members, I want to say it was the drummer, made mention that it wasn't Great White with the fire in Rhode Island or whatever. It was Jack Russell's Great White. And there is a documentary, something that I saw about that, and I wasn't just pinching to stop it. I'm not there yet. My age, I'm not there where I can't stop it from going, but I can understand where, as you get older, I can understand where that muscle doesn't want to stop the pee, right? Russell excited, great. But anyways, yeah. So is that the case? Jack Russell's Great White was there, where they broke up by that time, that all went down. But I was also going to say there's a documentary, and it's pretty good about it. Russell exited Great White on December 11th after he was unable to tour with the group due to a series of injuries. I know he's got back problems, including a perforated bowel and a shattered pelvis. Jack largely blamed these injuries on his alcohol and painkiller addictions, as well as the prednisone drug he was prescribed. All right, I just want to watch the feller. Here we go. He's this jerk having a conversation during his beautiful voice.
Here am I.
Beautiful. Here we go, baby. Save all your love.
Save all your love. Save your love.
He's got it, baby. He's got it. Boy, how great was that? How great was that acoustic? All right, we're done with this shit. We're going to get on to your comments, but how great was that MTV Unplugged? Didn't they do like all Led Zeppelin or something? It was when they did that Babe, I'm Gonna Leave. Baby, baby, baby. That was fantastic. That's up there, isn't it? Like one of the greatest MTV Unplugs of all time. I feel like it should be. All right, we get into your comments. That's right. If you're interested in getting your comments on here, put your comments on the YouTube video over there if you're listening on Spotify or whatever else. We got Mike Buchanan here. On this week's movies that are bad, but we love them anyways, The Black Hole. I saw that the last day of school in 6th grade. You know, when they don't want to teach you anything anymore and it's the last day of school, they took us into the gymnasium and said, okay, everyone's The Black Hole. And even back then I went, God, that's terrible CGI, isn't it? This was Disney's attempt at a space movie. As far as movies go for Disney, it did reasonably well in the theaters. For the first time, The Black Hole had cutting-edge special effects. By today's standard, not so much. It took nearly 10 years of rewrites to the script before anyone would make the film. Really? And as how bad it came out, they should have waited another 10 years. I remember my grandfather taking us kids to go see this movie at Thanksgiving. Yep, the holiday movie with Grandpa. And us kids coming out of it going, huh? Space drama, some action, bad dialect, and throw in 2 hovering, kidding looking robots. One voiced by Slim Pickens. That's the guy from Blazing Saddles, if you remember him, the cowboy. And you are in for an adventure for a lifetime. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play. Oh, I'm starting to shimmy in my seat here. Well, I'm going to do it. I'll make it. Mike Buchanan says, okay, you can round of the lynch mob, but I'm going to say it. Never have been a fan of Led Zeppelin. So if Robert doesn't want to sing Stairway to Heaven anymore, not going to hurt my feelings one damn bit. I threw in the damn. I'm really digging the new fart segment you started. I was in the elevator one day. It was a good thing the music was so loud as I had to let one rip. I did so, and this little girl behind me tapped me on the shoulder. Oh my God.
Excuse me, mister, are you missing this?
She's pushing it right out of her face. Little girl behind me tapped on my shoulder. Shouldn't you say, excuse me, after you pass gas? I removed my headphones and said, what did you say? Oh, man. I had a guy today at the bus stop. I'm standing there. I got my earbuds in. This guy comes walking down the thing, and he's, and they turn right away to you, and they start to, and you're like, fucking A. Yeah. And then the guy goes, now, I got a question for you, but I think he said, God loves you. He goes, first thing he said was, you just wanted to let you know, man, I hope you're having a great day, and you have a soul. And God loves you, bro. So have a blessed new year, and you have a soul. And he walked off. And as he walked off, I was like, did he say Jesus loves you or did he say God loves you? Because he looked like more, to be honest with you, he looked more kind of like a one that would say Allah or something like that. So I was like, I don't think he said Jesus Christ, but maybe he did say Jesus Christ. Not that I'll take either or. Give me whatever. And if Allah wants to say that I got a soul and all that too, much appreciated. I need as much corroboration as I can get. And he just stomped off down the road. He was happy-go-lucky, just bang, bang. You could see the bounce in the step. And he was just like, I can't wait to get to the next person I run into on the sidewalk so I can tell him the same thing I just told him. And God forbid they go into the grocery store. You just be hitting everyone. You got a soul. You got a soul. You don't got a soul, buddy. Okay. So he takes off the headphones, says, what do you say? And she says, my goddamn face is on fire, pal. Guessing this story by Sebastian must have been from years ago. Not sure that the Playboy Mansion would invite him today. More drama, this time from the Kiss Camp. Next. That has happened before, where I've clicked a story, but it's been really old, so that could be the case. Still Mike Buchanan here. So is Temu the CEO of Temu? What is that? I ordered stuff from that place once. Yeah, Teemu is the guitar player, but he might be the CEO of Temu. Mike Buchanan says, do I think Mick is underrated? No. He's a good player, but he's not a soloist. Doesn't have those noodle fingers. Yeah. You got to be able to ambidextrous. No one can do it like old bro from Nitro, right? Play both. And then he could play them like this too, because he had that four-necker. And now it's time for the Jive Talkin jokes of the week, brought to you by Mike Buchanan. Doctor, how's your headache? Wife, he's out of town. Husband, I need space. The wife, join NASA. Marriage counselor, so what brings you here today? Wife, he takes everything literally. I can't stand it. Husband, my truck. How do you know if your husband is dead? The sex is the same, but you get to use the remote. That means he's got rigor mortis in his. I saw a TikTok. I'm going to tell you guys what the TikTok is just in case you haven't seen it. But it says, did you know that they changed the scientific term for men's testicles to Wonkas? Why? Because they're between the Willy and the chocolate factory. Mike Buchanan here says, why do wives use twice as many words as their husbands? Because they always have to repeat themselves. And finally, wife. Do you want dinner? Sure. What are my choices? Yes or no? There you go. Now you're getting a thumb this week. You know, I might get froggy with the thumbs this week. I'm feeling pretty good about it. You got white bread coming in here. The Bark at the Moon and Shout at the Devil was also my first concert. Why, hello. Was an amazing show. Lots of barking and shouting. Those crew action figures are cool. Yes, we was talking about the Super 7s or whatever. They're doing the Shout at the Devils. The only thing they have released that I would buy. So that's, yeah. You're going to buy them then. Theater of Pain was another WTF moment for me. Went from pentagrams to pink leather. The pink polka dotted, the Pink Panther leather pants and the pink lipstick. I liked the record for what it was worth, and I saw that tour as well. That was the only two times I've seen Motley Crue was on Shout at the Devil and Theater of Pain. But yeah, it was just like, What the hell happened? You should have stuck with the spikes and stuff for a little while. White Bread says, I still have my Mentor's vinyl. Bought it and had no idea what was in store for my young ears. The opening track was Sandwich of Love. Please get back to me and tell me what that is. And here come the chills. You ever get a pee chill? Miss Althea coming in here with a dumbstuck fool, says Robert Plant. She's talking Robert Plant. Not gonna lie, I won't be hurting if I never heard Stairway to Heaven again. And all the best to Andy Taylor and his triumphant battle against cancer. Oh, yes, we send him the positive vibes. Miss Althea on Sebastian Bach. Slow news day, I guess, for him to muse about New Year's Eve convo at the Playboy Mansion with Gene Simmons' daughter, about all that her father did for him, inspirationally or otherwise. And that's just fine but some of us are still working 9 to 5 Monday through Friday and paying a mortgage in suburbia, USA, despite being Kiss fans. Just saying. AOR indeed stands for Album-Oriented Rock. The article didn't lie. I just don't know. It needs a better pop than that. Miss Althea on Ace. And again, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing is done. Kiss is done. All these barbs between him and Paul should therefore be done. He needs to be concentrating on promoting his new album and playing the material properly when he gets back on the road. I love him, but geez. There was another article with Ace Frehley saying he don't know what's happening, but this record for some reason is people are interested. He says, I don't know what's happening, but I'll tell you what, something's happening. Miss Althea on Mick Mars, not to take anything away from him, but the list of underrated guitar players of the 1980s is quite vast, in my opinion, however. I can only speak to what I enjoyed listening to and who I enjoyed watching play. Brian Forsyth, Warren DeMartini. I'm not a musician and couldn't say whether or not, what? Did I miss a line? Forsyth, Warren DeMartini. I am not a musician and couldn't say whether or not any given player had true technical ability. That's true. I don't know that kind of shit. I know if you got really fast noodle fingers, you're doing all right. Theater version. You will laugh so hard that you'll have to go back and watch it again. What? I missed something. Okay. Miss Althea on Mike B. Regarding the bad movie recommendation of Manos, The Hands of Fear, kick it up a notch and watch the Mystery Science Theater version. That's the one I've watched. I couldn't sit through the original. You will laugh so hard that you'll have to go back and watch it again just to catch the dialogue. Not that it matters, really, since the movie is so god-awful. I also need some good my husband jokes to keep up with him. I feel a Phyllis Diller moment coming on. Yes. Miss Althea, it was Owen Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart's brother-in-law, and brother of Bret Hart, Bret the Hitman Hart, who died in the ring after falling from a rigging system that went wrong. The Anvil was married to one of Owen's and Bret's sisters. Another sister was married to Davy Boy Smith, a.k.a. the British Bulldog. Oh, I remember the British Bulldog. And deceased, yet another unfortunate rest in peace to add to this comment. A lot of rest in peace going on. All the time. There's your heart, and guess what? Bang. Did White Bread get one? Yeah, he's getting one. Bang. We're thumbing everybody today. Unless it's a request. Sanguine coming in. Little bit of cashmere jive at the end. Yeah. If I remember right, and I don't really remember, but guess what? Boom. Bang. Anthony. Love this Love this song, your take on Stairway to Heaven. Great job, Shane D. You are a genius, my friend. Man, I wish I could give you... And he's already got a thumb for that. Someone else has already agreed with him that I'm a genius. You're getting a heart and a second thumb. He's like, you know what's working for me in those thumbs ups? Calling him a genius. John Heffron coming in here. Hooray for the return of the Mick Mars impression. I was going to do a story on him, but I decided not to because we're going to take that, we're going to be very ginger with that. Let's get out, let's get up, let's take it to the top. I want you to seize the day, go out there and have fun. Take care of yourself. You only have a certain span of life to live. Guy that I work with, 1 minute he's up, and the next minute he's out for emergency surgeries. It's like, take care of yourself, okay? Don't be going, oh, I'll do it next year, man. I'll quit smoking and all that next year. Because I'll tell you what, once you get past all the hard part, you'll be so damn happy. You'll be like, oh my God, I'm so happy I did that. Okay. Patterns. Let's see. Come on. Guys, I'm really having a hell of a time here. Come on. Oh, yeah. Gonna get limbo, come on, I'm gonna get limbo, Jive Talkin with the limbo stick. Limbo, take it to the limbo town, limbo, Jive Talkin with Shane. Jive Talkin, it's a limbo and a Jive Talkin, it's a limbo and a Jive Talkin. Get under the stick, get under the stick. Better hurry up quick. More drinking to do, more fun to have. Let's get under the stick. Then we go